I think we're live.
No, no, second off.
Yeah, we are live. What is up, people of the internet? It is me.
It's rapid Tyrone. We're
The
back at it again with the white vans. You guys know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, share the stream, join the channel. $1 a month. That shit's cheap as fuck. Let's get right into it.
uh, you just stole my intro.
Get
Was that
fucked,
for?
nerd. I've been driving for 4 hours straight. Look, man, I drove from fucking Austin to Fredericksburg and back. That fucking traffic was a nightmare. I want to get straight into it.
Listen, I still got to do the other stuff. So tonight, everyone, we will be talking about the Trump abortion stuff. Tyrone actually didn't hear about it. I'm surprised. Well, like I said, he was driving through Austin, I think. So, um,
Yeah.
he didn't hear anything about it until now, I guess. How have you not heard about this? This is like the big
Um, because
thing.
I told you I'm basically politically disconnected right now.
Uh, okay. Now, before we continue with tonight's stream, I hope you enjoy these type of streams. If you
Hey,
do,
I said these things
listen, I have to
already.
say it. It's tradition. It's by law. Well, it's
You
not.
stole my thunder. I don't do this for free. Well, I mean, I do this for free.
Again, folks, I hope you do enjoy these type of streams. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Again, Tyrone says it best. It's $1 a month. Think
That
about
shit's
that.
cheap as fuck. Come on, guys.
Yeah, and like usual, if you have any questions, concerns, comments, or just want to support the channel even further, the best way to send a super chat via the chat. Again, I'll try to read through as much chat as possible, but usually super chats are the best way your questions answered. And already we got one. Prince Rider for 5, unrelated, but Bear said he's heard the Biden campaign has already got a judge lined up to rule that RFK signatures are invalid in Michigan and Pennsylvania. I'm,
Completely unsurprising.
yeah, they're going to do everything they can to get RFK on the ballot, off the ballot, excuse me. You know, we're at a point now where if RFK's on the ballot, Trump wins easy. We are legitimately at that point of no matter what happens, I think Trump's got it, especially if RFK's on the ballot. But either way, the fact that they can just get a judge like that to say, oh, those ballots are, or those signatures are wrong, I do think there needs to be some kind of discussion on reform for ballot access, because that's just, there's no reason for some partisan judge to get involved and say, nope, those signatures are incorrect. So, what do you think, Tyrone,
Yeah.
with the RFK stuff before we start?
I mean, again, literally, like, none of this is surprising. Everybody knows RFK hurts Biden more than Trump because the only people RFK is taking away are Southern Democrats who voted for Trump in 2016, voted for Biden in 2020, and probably won't go voting for Trump again. He's literally just, I'm JFK's nephew, please vote for me.
Yeah.
Also, Palestine is kind of cool, which is obviously winning him the college live vote.
Explore Bear for 5, and just a way for Biden to rally up suburban white women. That's not. I mean, there's some people that argue what Trump did is like to appease them. We'll get to the Trump stuff in a second. Aya Moon has been a member for 4 months. Thank you so much, good sir. All right, so enough of the RFK stuff. We'll talk about that later, but we got to
Yeah,
get right
let's.
into the
Yeah.
possibly the biggest. How do I say this? The biggest video Trump has released in a while. Really, the policy. It's of course the abortion video. It was like 5 minutes long. I can't really play it here, but a lot of people are mad. Not just pro-choice people. They're either not saying anything about it or they're clipping out of context. Point is, the only people that are mad are the evangelical pro-life people. Because
Who
supposedly,
are going to vote for him anyway, to
yeah,
be
so
perfectly clear.
yeah, these voters that are saying, I'm not voting for Trump because of abortion, they were never going to vote for Trump. I mean, let's face it, these are the DeSantis people that still think DeSantis can win the nomination by some ungodly miracle. They're like 1% of the Republican vote. They don't freaking matter.
I
But
have been
these,
saying, I have been saying this for a long fucking time. Trump is literally just a 90s Democrat who is pro-life. Hey, what's up, yay?
Ye is joined.
But
Forklift certified, supposedly.
yeah,
So
no,
fuck
I,
you.
I am for a federal abortion ban. This is bad for soul. This is bad for the souls of children, and bad for our conservatives. But this is good electorally, and this does allow southern states to effectively double down on what they've been
Yeah,
doing,
so
and midwestern states. So it's got some bad, it's got some good. This is just real. This
Now,
is this is good for the this is good for electoral politics until we actually get into power and we have a sufficiently pro-life enough person.
Spikes has been a member for 8 months. Would you ever do a call-in stream? Hashtag 8 months, hashtag MAGA. Thank you for being a member, by the way. I don't think I will. It's just every time other channels do that, it just falls apart. So, I mean, I might.
Yeah,
I don't know. It usually
in terms of Trump's abortion messaging, let me make things clear. If a federal abortion ban hits Trump's desk, which it won't because of the filibuster, he's going to sign it. So anybody who says, "Oh man, this is Trump softening on abortion," no, this is Trump trying to win an election, and he will immediately sign any executive orders. He'll sign any legislation that comes to his desk. The problem is there's no point in campaigning on something that you already know, that everybody knows you're already going to do, when it's not going to happen because you're not going to get 60 votes. Democrats, I don't even think Republicans could get enough 60 votes to ban like abortion in month 9. Not even. Like Democrats are so pro-abortion. I don't even think they can get that.
There might be a couple Democrats. I know Klobuchar supports it, but
I don't. Listen. But here's the thing: they support it now. But will they support it when Trump is saying we need to ban abortion in the 3rd trimester with exceptions? I don't think so.
That's true.
They're not going to vote for anything Trump related because he's Orange Man, he's mean, and they have to,
So, and again, let me be clear. I am extremely pro-life. I'm one of the most pro-life people you will meet, but I even understand that.
I am so pro-life. I've said that I am for shotgun marriages. We should force teenagers into marriages to save a baby's life.
I would
Screw that abortion nonsense.
I wouldn't go that far, but like here's the reality of it. You're not gonna get 60 votes. Like Ye said, who's gonna vote for the Democratic side except like Amy Klobuchar as of now, and maybe Bob Casey?
I was gonna say literally
might vote for it, like Manchin and like maybe Tester, if he was really wanting to win re-election, is already gonna lose. Tester,
Manchin, potentially Klobuchar. I'm sorry, Klobuchar. I don't know how to say her name. I don't care. It's Klobuchar. Okay, maybe Klobuchar. She is kind of weirdly pro-life in some areas, but no, Bob Casey's not fucking voting for that. I'm sorry. He voted for respect for marriage. He voted for the abortion protection shit when Roe was overturned.
Bob Casey Jr. is not pro-life. He's a pretty narrow live on abortion.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, like, it's an example. It would be someone like Klobuchar that would support, but there's not enough of that. Weirdly enough, I could actually see Fetterman voting for it just because of it's Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
and Fetterman's schizophrenic. No, he just suffered a stroke. He became a Republican. So
yeah, no, he suffered it. Politicians
he recovered from brain damage and immediately became more conservative.
Yeah, he had a stroke, and all of a sudden, he's actually voting for the interests of his constituents. Really says something.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's been studies on them, like people with like brain damage and stuff. Like if they're more Democratic stuff, it's like okay, but suddenly when their brain has a stroke, they start going the other way. It's like okay, what's going on here? Okay, let's see here. If abortion is states' rights, how are federal bans allowed? Well, this is the whole argument Trump is saying is, look, Roe versus Wade, all it did was kick it back to the states. That's all overturning it did. And you get these clowns of pro-life movement that for 50 years have been saying, we must get rid of Roe versus Wade. The second they got rid of it, now they're saying, actually, never mind. We need to have a federal ban. So what's the freaking point of getting rid of Roe versus Wade?
I'm not old enough. I'm not old enough to remember this, but I know people who are old enough to remember Republicans campaigning on ending Roe v. Wade as early as 2006. They have been dealing with the reason these people want it back is because that was the way that they fucking lined their pockets.
Yeah.
This is not an issue of them being pro-life. This is an issue of them being pro-money in my fucking pockets. Now that Roe v. Wade is overturned,
overturning Roe v. Wade has been the Republican goal since the decision was handed down like 45, 50 years ago.
70s. Yeah, no. That's when it started. That's our grift. And these assholes suddenly got the greatest achievement in pro-life
Republicans
history.
like the snatch of defeat from the jaws of victory.
Yeah. Let's see here. Let's see. Alex Ledbetter for 5. I found a football tech startup and I went to a Wisconsin football clinic this weekend where I got the head coach of Edgewood to sign up for my okay.
Edgewood.
I should have.
Yeah.
Funny. But yeah, so now
you silly goober.
Trump is just neutralizing the issue. That's all he's doing. He's making it where, hey, I'm not going to sign anything, all right? If it's not going to pass anyways, this election will be decided not an abortion. And he's trying to neutralize the issue right away. And these idiots that like what's it called? The Susan B. Anthony group or whatever? What is that group called?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so these clowns, their leader, I think it's Marjorie Dana Felser, I think that's how you say her name.
Marjorie?
Yeah, Marjorie. This is what she
way, Large Marge 2.0.
Basically,
the womb strikes back.
This is what she says. Unborn children and their mothers deserve national protections and national advocacy from the brutality of the abortion industry, she said, which I agree with, but you're not going to pass anything. Why waste your time at the federal level? Why are you not going to say a state like California? Which, by the way, I think she lives in California. If I'm not mistaken, they're based out of New York or California, which has abortion up to birth. Why aren't you trying to focus on those states first? She's saying the issue is back to the states, cedes the national debate to the Democrats. What?
Return abortion to the states, and then we return abortion to the states, and now it's, we let the Democrats win.
Yeah. How does it make any sense?
Again, these people are here for the money.
It doesn't make sense.
I mean, think about that. Trump is saying
it doesn't make sense from an internalized logical sense. But you know what it does from? You know what it does make sense from?
What?
A financial sense.
Yeah.
Because it's a great way to keep the grip going. Sorry, guys, but a lot of pro-life people are in this. Like a lot of pro-life people who aren't like white suburban moms or angry evangelicals are typically pro-life for political or financial convenience.
Let's see here. Prince writer for 5. The only way an abortion ban would pass would be the automatic West Virginia flip, the likely Ohio flip, the possible Wisconsin flip, Montana, Arizona flips, upsets in Nevada, Pennsylvania, Michigan, VA, and Minnesota. Yeah, it's the only way there could even be a remote chance of an abortion ban passing.
Even then, I don't think it would.
Oh, hi, James. When did you get here?
I mean, it was like a minute or two ago.
Oh, James.
I didn't notice you joined.
I
heard James speaking. I was like, oh.
Oh, yeah, your
James?
microphone's pretty bad.
Mine or his?
Yays.
Help!
Help me!
Help me!
But yeah, I mean, just like, I don't get this. Like, okay, no, this makes it easier to do your job because now it's state by state. So states like Alabama, you can make sure, okay, heartbeat ban is passed. But a state like Wisconsin, make sure it's a 15-week ban or whatever. What do you mean that it cedes the national debate? No,
Virginia, if Youngkin can get away with a 15-week ban in Virginia, we can do a 12-week ban in states like Wisconsin.
What's I'm saying, and I wanted to talk about this. I think the pro-life movement's biggest problem is they didn't start the late term. They didn't start at like 20 weeks, 24 weeks. They went right towards 12 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, they want second term.
Yeah. And at first this seemed like a good idea, but I think this was a mistake because with late term, you could just say, okay, we're just going to start with late term. Everyone supports that.
Like it's like Ye said that with that one study, people support a 15-week ban, but they don't support they support a 3-month ban, but not a 12-week ban.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, I think the pro-life movement should have started at the, just say, late second trimester or third trimester.
So basically 18 weeks.
Yeah, let's just say 18 weeks, or what is that, 6, or how many months is that?
6 months.
6 months, yeah. Just say, okay, we start there, and then work your way towards 15 weeks, 12 weeks, then go towards the heartbeat stuff. These morons went right towards the heartbeat ban, and it flopped. It didn't go too good. I mean, yeah, states have it.
I mean, they're all a bunch of naive idealists, so I don't know what you're expecting from them.
Well, you just think, okay, you had 50 years to plan.
No, you don't think. They feel.
I guess. But they've had 50 years to plan this. And you're telling me that, oh, we didn't have a plan to start with? So, wait a minute. If you want to get rid of Roe versus Wade, you're telling me you had no plan if you actually got it done? What does that tell you about these people?
I think what it means is that they didn't. I think what it means is that they never expected this to get overturned, and they just wanted to constantly campaign against it without having to do anything.
Like, yeah, no, James and I are. Thank you, James, for being on the same page as me.
Let's see here. So
Yeah,
If that were literally any other situation, I'd be mortified.
Let's see here. So let innocent babies die so Orange Blob can win. No one's saying that, but it just
that is called a straw man. That's not what he's saying. Do not put words in his mouth.
Yeah, so again, I support a heartbeat ban if you can pass it. If you can't pass it, what's the frickin' point? All you're doing is giving Democrats free ammo to say, see, these extremists want to ban abortion outright, while we support the rare and the safe procedure of abortion. What's message going to work better in a state like Pennsylvania or Michigan? I'm sure, though, people will support a heartbeat ban. I'm sure.
I don't think the people of Michigan think.
Good lord. Printer writer for 2, they went straight to the heartbeat to stop Trump in Iowa. I agree, they did, and it backfired badly. I mean, every state that passed a heartbeat ban except like the Deep South, it looks like it's just going to get overturned. So, what was the point in this entire fight for abortion?
The point was to spite Trump because, again, Trump is just this 90s Democrat who's like mostly pro-life.
Yeah, and this is another thing people were saying. Somehow, if you could support getting rid of abortion after 6 weeks, but if you support any exemptions, these people will call you pro-choice. And I think that's the biggest problem with the pro-life movement.
I would be willing to go as far as to say it's a generally large issue with conservatives as a whole, where political positions become pseudo cults. Like, especially looking at the firearms shit, where with that Illinois judge ruling, an illegal can possess a firearm, and you had all those like pro-gun people saying, "Oh yeah, no, actually, letting illegals own guns to own the government is based."
Yeah.
Also, there was I'm forgetting it now, but there's
let me be clear.
Let me be clear.
I forgot what I was gonna say. It was something you said before.
What?
What?
I said it was something related to what you said before, but I forgot it.
Bruh.
No, bro, like your voice just went straight to the fucking shadow realm for a minute.
No, I was coughing. I have something in my throat.
Let's see here. Trump's pro-choice. No, he's not.
Oh yeah. That's what I was gonna say. The Steve Deese tweet earlier today were saying that Trump was a pro-choice candidate.
Steve Deese, everyone. I want to pull this tweet up, by the way. You know what? This is actually a really good point. It was Steve Deese, I believe, right? Yeah, Steve Deese.
Yeah, I saw you. I think it was like you quote tweeted him or something about.
Yeah, so this clown, who, mind you, he is one of the most useless people in the Republican Party. I don't think he's ever done anything. What has Steve Deese done for the conservative movement? Anyone know?
I mean, all he does is host a show. I mean, how many viewers? I don't even know how many viewers.
10 people watch. It's from Iowa. Whoop-de frickin' do. It's the Bob Vanderplatz. That's the only people that watch that show. No one cares.
He endorsed DeSantis, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, this is what Steve Deese said. Both major political party presidential nominees are now officially pro-choice for the first time. Did he not know about the 1996 election? Remember that? Again, Bob Dole wasn't not freaking pro-choice up to birth, but he was one of the more pro-choice Republicans out there. So it's like, what is Steve Deese even talking about? That's just wrong in the first place. But secondly, how is Trump pro-choice? I really want to know.
Also, I feel like if you're gonna say Trump's stance on abortion is pro-choice right now, you would have to apply the same thing to 2016 and maybe 2020.
Yeah, I mean, Trump's position, all that's changed is back then he was more vocal about overturning Roe versus Wade, and now it's overturned. Why talk about it?
Yeah, why talk about something that's been settled already?
Yeah, It's like, it's going back to the States. And these pro-life people, they've wanted this for 50 years. But now they actually, no, Roe versus Wade, we got to bring it back. It's like,
We got to bring back Roe because more electability.
yeah, because we got to ban it federally. The second we do that, Democrats control the Senate. They're going to ram through an abortion bill that allows abortion up to birth. That's what's going to happen.
Well, I mean, they're definitely going to run through an abortion of a bill.
Good Lord. Let's see. Joe.
Oh, come on. It was kind of funny.
Yeah, there are plenty of pro-choice Republicans in the past. Way more than Trump. Ford, Dole was in 96.
Reagan's wife, Barbara.
Yeah, people forget about Reagan. They worship Reagan. His wife, I wouldn't call her conservative.
No, literally the sole reason that Reagan didn't go full-blown pro-life is because his wife constantly fucking held him in a chastity cage.
Princey Writer for 5. Finally, for what it's worth, Trump the past hour has been posting videos of Dems supporting late-term / post-birth abortions. He went on the offensive. And that's what Republicans got to do. Don't talk about, well, here's what we got to do as a party. Oh, this is what we got to do. No, just say, here's what Democrats want to do with abortion. Support it post-birth. Like the clown of Virginia wants. Late-term abortion, like every Democrat in the Senate supports except, like, 2. Focus it on that. Don't focus it on, well, the Republicans in Alabama wanted to ban abortion after a heartbeat, or they did. So we're going to do that everywhere. You're not going to. You're just not. So.
I mean, yeah, it would take like a Supreme Court ruling to it would probably take a Supreme Court ruling to federally ban abortion, because I don't think it could ever pass the Senate, at least with how the filibuster is right now. I don't think it could ever get 60 votes.
Yeah. You're just not going to. These idiots really believe, though, that Trump's pro-choice because he took a moderate stance on it. But you just look more at what Trump said. I think he made a good statement about IVF, which I have my opinions on. Again, as a Catholic, you're supposed to be against it 100%, but I have my own opinions on it. But either way, Trump made a really good statement on abortion, all of that. He said, look, we got to have a culture of life in this country. And I'm not going to just support a federal ban when we know it's not going to pass. Let's see here. But
remember, kids, rushing into things without a plan actually hurts your goals in the long term.
Yeah. But no, this was a 50-year plan for the pro-life movement. They've been planning this for years. And the second it gets overturned, well, we can't actually do anything. We have to bring back Roe versus Wade. Yeah, so... Oh, go on.
No, I was just going to say, it is really funny that they had 50 years to prepare, and all they did was this.
They grifted! This proves...
I mean, yeah, I think it's pretty... They just spent the last 50 years campaigning against it because it wins them, it also wins Republicans' votes from religious communities without them actually having to do anything.
And Brewster for 10, a lot of Republicans give up on debate and are so sick of losing that they want Trump to simply invoke martial law on the Dems and pass the wish list full stop by any means. I wouldn't go that far, but I think a lot of Republicans are just sick of both parties, but... let's see. We have to undo 50 years of culture problems. Yeah! I mean, think about this. You've had schools and shit teaching that abortion's been a right.
I am of the opinion you're not going to be able to undo literally anything until you undo the legacy of FDR, but that would require me getting into a very long-winded rant.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, all I'm saying is, for 50 years, you had schools, the news, and shit saying, well, this was a federally guaranteed right, and we have to protect those rights. You're not going to overturn that just in a year. That's going to take years to come anywhere close to stopping that or bringing back the culture beforehand. But like you said, I don't think it's going to happen. Let's see. The left didn't take over America by compromising. That's bullshit! Look what gay marriage! Remember that? They were like, okay.
I mean,
Go on. What, James?
No, I was going to say, that issue, I mean, that's a perfect example of how to shift an Overton window. At first it was that they decriminalized it, and then they pushed for civil unions, and then they eventually pushed for gay marriage. And as time went on, people just became more accepting of it because at a certain point, people just stopped caring.
Yeah, and That's a big thing. What Democrats did was they slowly, chopped away at it. Like, okay, we're gonna start, like you said, decriminalize it. And most people agree that's common sense. Okay, just because you're gay doesn't mean you should be like hunted down at night. Tyrone might have a different opinion on that. Tyrone, you shut up. Tyrone, you shut up. But then it's like, okay, now you want civil unions. All right. But then full-blown gay marriage. They did that over like 50 years, the same thing. But it was slow. It wasn't just in 1 year, bam, gay marriage is here. Granted, they did do the Supreme Court stuff, but they gradually gained support of it. The abortion issue, you should do the same thing. Target late-term abortion. And then slowly work your way towards the earlier weeks, like 15
Or,
weeks.
Alternatively, don't discuss these things in the mind of the popular conscious.
True. You could just say, like, oh, well, we just got to see what the bill is because all of that. And I think this should be an issue of where Republicans should focus more on the family side of things. Like, we got to grow happy families, we got to grow stable families, all of that.
You know what is a fundamentally crucial building block to having a pro-life culture? Dealing with the drug crisis this country faces.
True. Let's see here. If Trump wins the election, he needs to realize the corporatist neocons are at work to subvert his agenda. We need to reform the FBI, DOJ, etc. Well, yeah, he's gonna blow up everything. But figuratively, not he's gonna blow up the FBI building.
No way, Timothy McVeigh Trump.
Oh man. But rap, that takes too long. We need to ban it immediately. Well, some people don't care. I mean, if you really think we could ban that stuff overnight, I mean, just look at the issue of immigration. 20 years ago, it would have been insane to say we should have an immigration moratorium. Now, because of Democrats fucking up all the time about it, a lot of people are saying, maybe we should cut immigration in half at the bare minimum. So,
I mean, I think that's another example of how to shift an Overton window is, even at the start of the 2010s, the idea of immigration restrictionism really wasn't all that popular. And then, it began to become more popular in the 2010s. Trump began campaigning on the wall. There was the government shutdown over wall funding. And then throughout, I guess it was a bit less of an important issue in the 2020 election as immigration went down, but as immigration has gone up again.
Yeah, so that's another, like you said.
During the 2020 election, immigration was lower because of COVID.
Yeah, people think at that point it was like, okay, whoop de frickin' do. We got the wall built and shit. So it's like no one cares at that point. But now it's like people, not just illegal immigration, they want to go after illegal immigration. That's another issue. And I wanted to bring that up. So that's what chat has to say.
Well, we should go after immigrants.
Go after immigrants. Trump is an un-American pro-choice guy. John Willard, everyone. Somehow saying it should be a state issue is pro-choice, when that was the pro-life stance for 60 years. They were saying that just 2 years ago. Yeah, so the issue of abortion should be a statewide issue, not a federal one. Now they're saying, no, it has to be a federal issue again. So why overturn Roe versus Wade? Why instead replace it with something different? I'm serious, what was the point?
I don't know. That's a really good question. Let's ask our friend John Willard, who seems to be completely illiterate.
Yeah. But I'm just being serious. Like, if you want to overturn, keep the federal ban or want to get one, why put everything in one lawsuit to overturn Roe versus Wade? The one thing that allows you to do that, technically.
Because these people aren't actually interested in overturning Roe v. Wade. These people are more interested in making money off of the idea of overturning Roe v. Wade. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I'll keep saying it until the day I die.
And I think that's just sickening. The fact that these people, they want to have
sick individuals.
But no, I'm just serious. Like, these people.
I hope you're serious about this.
Well, no, I am. Like, these people supposedly care about the unborn. They care so much about it. But the second that they actually get a victory, they do nothing for years. But let California, New York, and was it New Jersey allow abortion up to birth? They're not talking about that. But the orange man is against the late-term ban federally. He said it's got to be a statewide issue. How dare he? And these same people live in New York, live in California. They don't care about their state laws. So what's the freaking point? Why complain what Trump said? Let's see here. Ben Cynics for 2. Can you talk about Trump's response to Graham? Oh, yeah, that's right. Did you guys see this, by the
What
way?
did
Oh, I
Trump
didn't
say?
see this
No,
one.
I didn't.
Listen.
Okay,
You
I'm
talk...
listening.
Oh, good lord. I gotta find the exact comments because it was absolutely gold. And I quote, this is from Trump's Truth Social. I blame myself for Lindsey Graham because the only reason he won the great state of South Carolina is because I endorsed him.
No lie detected here.
Bro. He went off on him today.
It's so funny because Lindsey Graham has been like trying to like be all pro. He's been trying to act like he's super pro Trump for the past I guess since Trump declared his candidacy for 2024. He's trying to be talking about like how much he loves Trump and about how he's like always on Trump's side.
Yeah, well, that's just Lindsey
It's just
Graham.
really funny.
He's a grifter. He's a fraud.
No, I know. I mean, it's him
wants.
trying. He's trying to take it. He's just trying to
He's
take
also
advantage of it.
he's also
obviously.
a closeted homosexual.
Is that too? I still want to know where that rumor went to. Like, that went absolutely nowhere. I think
It was just like I think it was like an Oppo. Yeah, it was like an Oppo research the Jamie Harrison campaign did on him in 2020.
I want to hear the full story. I'm curious how deep it goes. Oh, I should have said that.
Yeah, you don't want to know how deep Lindsey Graham goes.
Oh, good lord! I should. Okay, you know what, Tyrone? Oh, whatever.
You're the one who opened your mouth and said
Listen,
it that way.
okay.
Oh,
The Sandwich Man for 2. Biden's about to pass Trump in the RCP. Thoughts? Like I said, polls were getting closer, but some of those polls I don't usually say they're fake. But
the polls are fake. Yeet
No.
said this earlier this year. Like Mr. Yeet and Master Yeet, our very great friend here on the channel, said that they would be pushing a lot of fake shit as we got closer to the election. He's been proven absolutely right on these things.
Yes.
I don't know why people are listening to this shit.
Well, here's what I'll say. I think, there is going to be closer because some undecideds are Democrats and they're going to break for Biden, blah, blah, blah. But here's the problem with some of these polls. They're coming out. Look at Marquette. And I did a whole stream on this. They magically changed their methodology. All right, when they had Trump up by 4. But this month, they mysteriously changed their methodology, made it far less conservative, far less Republican, far less evangelical, and they got Trump tied with Biden. I noticed this with many polls. They're doing the same crap. I'm not saying they're faking it, but I find it very suspicious that every poll that has a big shift towards Biden, every single one of them has a change of methodology. They're pulling different people. All of a sudden, oh crap, Trump's winning, quick. We gotta go back to the 2020 methodology. I don't get it. But funny enough, the statewide polls are becoming more Republican. Did you guys notice that?
No.
Yeah, so yes,
They kind of have. I've seen a few statewide polls, and they seem to either not be moving or going more Republican.
So what you're telling me is Republicans for Biden?
Republicans for Biden. But no, it's like the polls are becoming more Trumpy statewide, but less Trumpy nationally. It's one of those things where I don't know how to explain that. I really don't, but it is bizarre. But either way, it's like, okay, if Trump is even down the popular vote by 1, he's not right now, that's still a win for him. So
yeah, like just a couple days ago, there was a Wall Street Journal poll in Arizona that had Trump up by 5, and this is at the same time when they're saying that on the same day they had there was the Biden plus 3 national popular vote poll.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. It's like, but no, it's like you look at that. It's like, okay, how can you have Trump doing so good in Arizona, but then do horrible nationally? It's like, I don't know about that one.
Because they're fucking liars.
Well, I think what's happening is like they just don't trust their own methodology. They think, okay, there's no way Trump's actually up. We got to give Biden the benefit of the doubt. That's what I think's happening. Well, there might be a grand conspiracy because there are some mysterious Democrat pollsters that haven't done shit in years. They're back, everyone. They're pulling for Biden.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Joe Biden summoning 300,000 unnamed pollsters to give him enough polls to lead Wisconsin by 10 points in the RCP average.
Prince running for 2. Rasmussen Trump +8 nationally. Bears plus Trump +6 in Pennsylvania. So, well, yeah, Rasmussen I think is a bit schizophrenic. Like I like the guys that make their polls, but like some of the results are pretty out there. I don't know, but it's like, okay, 1 week it's Trump +1, the next week it's Biden +12, then Trump +20.
Maybe they know something we don't.
Oh yeah, it just flip flops every week. Surely.
So true.
Bailey Spangler for 10. Pro-Life Inc. really grinds my gears sometimes. They insist that Republicans take a suicidal position, which would only result in Dems winning and a trend of national post-birth abortion. Yeah. That's all that would happen. Oh, let's get a heartbeat ban in 2 states. Congratulations, Louisiana and Alabama. They got heartbeat bans. But, rest of the country. Good luck. Bailey Spangler for 10. If Pro-Life Inc. was serious about reducing abortion, they would put all the resources behind our culture and defeating the ballot measures in states like Florida. Yeah. I really think that should be the focus. Focusing on referendums that Democrats are pushing, and then get a referendum in California and New Jersey on, hey, ban late-term abortion. Just say after the, what is it, the 9th month? Or not 6th month, I should say. Should there be restrictions on the issue of abortion with exemptions? And I guarantee, even in New Jersey, that might fail, but it would be a lot closer. What do you guys think?
I mean, I think it always depends on the wording. I mean, because it's pretty clear that voters respond pretty differently to different types of framing on the issue. But I mean, I think if you put a ballot referendum in New Jersey that said something like ban abortion in the last trimester, that would probably, that wouldn't, I don't think that would be like an unwinnable thing.
It would
A
be difficult
pro-life
to win,
movement,
but it
you know,
would be
but
possible to win.
I don't think it would be easy because Democrats would probably go like fully against it because Overton window stuff. But I
Yeah.
don't think that I don't think that would be something that's unwinnable for Republicans. But I don't think they would ever try to. I don't think they would ever try to put effort into it.
Maryland Agati 83 for 2. Do you think Johnson will be ousted? He could be ousted, but we just gotta see.
Is it a 1-seat majority right now?
2-seat majority.
Oh yeah, it's a 2-seat majority right now. So it would take 3 Republicans switching over to to vote him out, right?
Well, and that's assuming every Democrat votes for him. And it's like, I don't know. I hope not. He might, but Marshall agreed. I swear to God, that actually happens because there might be a rant. There might be a stream that day.
Yeah, there's some moderate Democrats who are saying that they'll vote to save Mike Johnson if he allows the Ukraine aid to go through. But I mean, if he allows the Ukraine aid to go through, and then they decide to oust him again, I don't know if those same Democrats would try to save him again, because the only reason they would save him is to get it passed, because they don't know if if there's a new speaker, they don't know if because their priority is getting the aid bill passed. They don't know
That's their priority.
if a speaker gets ousted when the next speaker is in office, and how friendly they would be to passing an aid package.
Prince Uriah for 2 and Seltzer. Trump +13 in Iowa, +7 nationally. Yeah, I noticed a lot of people hate that poll again because they Trump up. So, what you got? That pollster, she's a good pollster, I say, but her problem is like her early polls usually suck. So, I've noticed that.
What happened to Big Penguin polling?
Big Penguin polling, yes. Big Penguin.
You guys know who I'm talking about, right?
Yes, that was my favorite meme in 2022. Best meme, easy.
I mean, I think the Twitter account is still around, but he hasn't posted since January.
Let's see. Republicans have been losing every cycle since 2018. That's actually false. 2021, we won. So, George W. Bush, GOP dominated federal politics for 3 decades. That's false! Wait a minute. The Bush GOP dominated politics for 3 decades. Well, hold up. Let's just do some basic math. So when did HW become president?
HW became president in
88.
88.
1989.
Yeah, 88 again. It was 88. So let's just say, okay, 88 was when the George Bush GOP started. In 1990, they got crushed. 1992, he lost to Clinton. 94, the Republican Revolution, but that was, again, going to happen because Clinton was not liked at the time.
And that wasn't related at all to Bush. That was that was Newt Gingrich.
Yeah, Newt Gingrich put the team on his back. And then 1996, Bob Dole got crushed. 2000, Bush barely won. He barely won because of his brother in Florida. That's why. 2002, 9/11. 2004, 9/11. That's why he won.
No way, 9/11, 2004?
Oh, good lord. But no, the 2006, one of the
Thank
biggest,
you, James, for laughing at my dumb
one
joke.
of the biggest blue waves in history. 2008, even bigger. And the only
I think he was saying that they dominated Republican politics and not national politics.
Let's see here. No, he said they dominated federal politics. The Bush
stupid.
GOP.
Yeah.
Like, the only time they dominated federal politics is when George Bush had an approval spike from 9/11, and then once he decided to invade Iraq, it all collapsed.
That was the dumbest thing ever. If he never would have done that, you can make an argument he would have won easy, but I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, he obviously won without Iraq, but I mean, he may have done a bit better if he decided to.
He barely won. Listen, for someone with all the momentum behind him, with how everyone saw how he handled 9/11, he should have won in a landslide. He should have won by Reagan-esque landslide. Yeah. I mean, serious. When was the last time you had a president with 90% approval? It was not just for a day.
I mean, that would have had to be. That would have not not Reagan, not Carter. I mean, I don't think even Nixon. I think you'd have to go back to like Eisenhower or JFK.
Okay, it was 80s, excuse me. But either way, even when his approval went down, it was historically high for a year. And he blew it.
Yeah, it was yeah, but I mean, I'm just looking at the historical approval rating polls of George Bush, and yeah, he had a peak of 85%,
yeah,
and he had a small peak when he invaded Iraq, but after that like little spike, it just collapsed and it just kept going down until the end of the election where he was in the 20s.
And really, an argument can be made that the Osama bin Laden video saved him in 2004. That was like 2 weeks before the election. So
yeah, that and the gay marriage referendum in Ohio and like just the 9/11 stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only reason he won, and that was barely. Can you imagine Trump had that happen now? Holy freaking Christ! He would probably win in a landslide. But Bush, he barely could. I don't know.
He barely won Ohio.
And remember the conspiracy theories of that one?
Grizz used to get it in Ohio.
I love
that. It was what, the 12 suspect counties?
Yeah, the 12 suspect counties. Yep.
Yeah, I love posting that image. It's so funny.
Doomsday Machine for 2. Imagine Trump having a 90% approval. Imagine any president with a 90% approval. Bush had that. And
Democrats like to act as if Obama had a 90% approval rating.
The only times he was liked was right after he won in 2008 and right before he left. That's it. What does that tell you about it?
I mean, the highest approval rating he ever had was around 63%.
Yeah, but that was like right in,
second coming of Martin Luther King Jr. Everybody, by the way.
That was right after the election, and people were saying, "Well, he's going to help save America and all that." We're middle of the recession, all that. We can give him some credit. Printer Right for 2. BPP was so funny that they got the primaries right. Yeah, they got the primary spot on, but after that, it didn't. It didn't go to plan. That's one way to put it. George Bush is going to vote for Trump. He's just going to vote for, like, freaking Jeb or something. Is his mom still alive or something?
Who? I think both HW and his wife are dead now.
Okay. He's going to vote for, like, his wife then. For president or something dumb. I don't freaking know. There's no way he's going to vote for Trump.
Largest
Yeah,
object in the cosmos. John Baird's mom.
Oh, good lord.
Yeah, and I just checked. No president had a higher approval rating than Bush after 9/11, except for Harry Truman during World War II.
Well, yeah, that's right after FDR died. It's just
Yeah,
like,
and it was during World War II.
yeah, so it's like, yeah, of course he's gonna have a 90% approval.
Well, no, he had an 87%.
87, excuse me. Rap, what do you say what do you say Sam Brown or Jeff Gunter is a better one for Nevada? I hate both of them. Well, Jeff Gunter is a meme, but
they're both fucking terrible.
listen, Sam Brown I think is worse, but just because he has money behind him, he might do better. But he has the abortion stuff's gonna kill him because his wife is touting, oh yeah, so I had an abortion 20 years ago and I celebrate it to this day. You know, it's like, yeah, I know it's Nevada, but
yeah, no, that's ghoulish beyond comparison.
Let's see here. Doomsday Machine for 5. Also, if you want abortion ban, look for ways to make it obsolete. Things like crypto or cryopreservation for fertilized egg cells will help in great cases. Yeah, so, or grape. Yeah, I know what you're saying, but yeah, so, but my problem is like, there's an argument made that, well, if you destroy those fertilized eggs, those are humans and all that stuff. There's an argument made, but I understand what you're saying. I do agree, though, that we should look more into the stuff like that, because, like, why do people need an abortion at this point in time? Outside
because
of
they've been taught it's a right and it's part of their it's their rights, bro.
I think the biggest thing is they think it's birth control. You know, that's like, oh, this is birth control. That's why we can get it. Which I don't think that's the case. How do I say this? How do I say this, like, without pissing anyone off? Well, because it's like, okay, birth control itself is not a problem. I just think that the way it's being taught today is a big problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Sam Brown is one of the GOP's best Democrats across the country. Well, Sam Brown's wife she should just keep her mouth shut. I mean, why? I can pull the article, by the way. I'm not even kidding when I said that. Sam Brown wife abortion. It's not like, you know, let's see. And she claims to regret it, but she was saying, well, I wanted a career choice in the military or something. And she was even married. What?
Oh, sorry, I was saying WG.
What is that?
WG brothers?
Oh. Let's see. Prince Writer for 2. Trump has to do what Cody did. Finish the story. Who's Cody?
That could be referencing a lot of different people.
Yeah, there's plenty of Codys. I don't know if I believe the Red Michigan thing yet. Well, I think Red Michigan, the thing with that is, it all comes down to how Muslims actually vote. If they truly bail on Biden like the polls are saying, yeah, he's screwed there, but
I mean, like the number of Muslims voting, like Arabs and Muslims voting in Michigan, wasn't enough to flip the state in 2020. But if you have a mix of just some areas shifting Republican, and then on top of that, the Muslims and Arabs don't vote, that's going to massively. That could flip the state.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, Michigan is,
and it's like,
go on.
No, and I was going to say the Senate election in 2020 is even closer, and I think there might even be an arguably weaker candidate in Slotkin this time around.
I think Slotkin's a weak candidate. I think she's super weak.
I don't think she's not that strong of a candidate, and she doesn't seem to really have the support of the Arab and Muslim communities. I mean, they seem to be more like, she doesn't really have much of a primary challenge, but they do seem to be more behind Hill Harper than they are behind Slotkin. So they may not want to vote for Slotkin in the general, just because she's very like the centrist, like white suburban type, the type that really cares about the. She was in the Bush CIA, so
of course she was. That explains a lot. Be part of the CIA that time. I can assume what she did during her time. All right. The Deep South might go blue now because of Trump caving on abortion. Oh, I'm sure.
Oh my god, shut your mouth.
50
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
in Minecraft.
Doug Jones is coming back.
Yeah, Doug Jones returns. It's
Doug
like,
Mintum. Remember, guys, Doug Mintum.
guys, don't worry. A 70-point shift is happening in like freaking Alabama because Trump is saying, no, it should be a statewide issue. You know how you make these people not vote Republican? By saying, like these elected bros are saying, actually, no, we should reinstate Roe versus Wade. That would piss off a lot of pro-life people way more than what Trump supposedly offended them with. You know? Let's see here. Ted Budd endorsed Sam Brown. Why? Well, Sam Brown's the Republican. He's going to be the nominee. Unless Trump gets involved, he's not going to lose that. The primary, at least. So. Let's see. Lindsey Graham endorsed Sam Brown, Jeff Gunter for Senate. Yeah, well, Sam Brown just sucks, but he's going to be the nominee. I'm just staying out of it. If you had the meme of Rick Harrison running, I would support him, but I really don't like anyone in that race because they're either schizophrenic, Sam Brown, or they're pulling so low it doesn't really matter.
I mean, yeah, it seems like the only candidates really with any kind of significant support are Brown, Gunter, and Marchant.
Yeah. And Marchant is just, you know, I like Marchant, but he's not going to do anything statewide. He just can't.
Yeah, I mean, and it's like I don't think he's really winning a general election with just Flynn and Gosar endorsements. I mean,
that's a problem with like Marchant. Again, he seems like a nice dude. He should run for the Nevada seat, but the House seat, but he's not someone that's going to be able to win a statewide race. He just won't. Bailey Spangler for 10. Imagine an alternative timeline where Bush is a neocon and uses post 9/11 approval to go full America first. He could have done almost anything under the guise of the war and terror. Yeah, he could have. He could have done anything he wanted for.
The thing that people need to understand is that Bush had, hey, what's up, Trump 2020 enjoy.
Oof.
The issue people, the thing people need to understand about Bush is that he had unlimited political capital at the time of 9/11, and he could have done literally anything. I am convinced the only president who could have undone Social Security or done major changes to it was Bush with his political capital. He could have done anything, and he decided to waste it on Iraq because he was upset Saddam started posturing. He's like, your dad kicked my ass, but I'm going to kick your ass, nerd.
And the thing is, like, he should have, again, Saddam Hussein.
In short, Bush is a fucking idiot who has no sense of foreign policy, and he was basically controlled entirely by Rumsfeld and Cheney and all the people who just wanted the oil. So no, if Bush wanted to, he could have done a lot more.
Like when Bush was picking his VP, didn't he ask Cheney to pick his VP, and then Cheney suggested himself?
Yes, he did.
Yes.
Well, no, that's like they do this where there's like one person.
I'm sorry, that's his presidency never had a chance.
With Cheney and Rumsfeld.
No, hey, can you pick my vice president? Yeah, me a little. No, you had no chance.
Well, no,
you're an idiot.
No, this what happens. Like, he asks around, like, people that he recommends and stuff, and apparently, like, he recommended himself. I don't know. Very Odd Parents or Politics for 5. Do you think turning point action efforts at ballot chase Wisconsin is enough to carry pushing the victory? I'm getting concerned. I think it would be if they actually invest money to it. That's what I'm concerned about. Do they got the money? Hopefully they do, because it is turning point. Tex Rex 98 for 2. Will you watch Star Wars Tales of the Empire? I might.
No.
I might. Just for the memes. The memes.
Anything Disney Star Wars related sucks. Sorry.
Let's hear it. Rumsfeld is a great man. Real. Hassan was bad, but at least we got rid of it. Well, Saddam Hussein was not good. In fact, yeah, he's not a good guy, but getting rid of him caused a lot of the problems in the Middle East we see today. Because he kept everything, like, in check, kind of.
It was just that, it really made no sense for it. It's not that Saddam deserved to be in power, or that it was a good thing that he was gone, but it was also a bad thing that he was gone because ISIS used the power vacuum to start killing civilians. And
people forget that he was the only one keeping that region stable at the time.
Saddam and Gaddafi were pretty much the only two Arab dictators in the area that kept their areas from going to complete shit. So the moment that Saddam and Gaddafi were removed, things really did just take a turn. A lot of people look. I understand that people I'm not a fan of Saddam or Gaddafi, because Saddam and Gaddafi, especially like Gaddafi, they still supported sending immigrants into Europe and using that as like basically a way to hold Europe up for their money. But they at least held their area stable, and now Libya is the biggest entry point for Arabic immigrants into southern Europe. And Iraq is a nightmare, everyone understands well, and that only emboldened American leaders to start fucking up shit even more extensively in Syria. So, I mean, I don't know what people want. Yes, sometimes shit is evil, but sometimes you gotta have a necessary evil to prevent Pandora's box from opening.
Yeah, and the same with
I mean, I think that
look at Libya. I mean, before now it's like the biggest. I think it's the slave trade hub of the world, right?
No, that's Mauritania.
Either way, it's like there's a bunch of like shit going down in Libya now. Right after they took them down. What does that tell you?
I think that I think these countries would have ended up collapsing whenever Gaddafi and Saddam died. They could have died later, but I think they would have ended up collapsing. I think the problem is that like we shouldn't have gone in there and killed them because like we accelerated it and we also created the power vacuum. So then suddenly it's so that it becomes our fault and our problem that these power vacuums.
The issue is that if they were to collapse, they would have probably collapsed a la Egyptian dictatorship style with the Arab Spring. Honestly, it would have been way better to just let the Arab Spring deal with Saddam and Gaddafi as opposed to just what if we moved in and killed them?
Yeah, what's worse that could happen? Because all you're doing is getting the radicals in charge. That's all we did. We got
I can only really think of like one American-backed dictatorship or republic that actually ended up in a positive note.
Which one?
I mean,
Chile.
Yeah,
everything else has basically been a fucking disaster.
There was South Korea. I mean, South Korea was an American-backed dictatorship.
Yeah, but I would call it a success. I would not call that a success.
I guess South Korea has a lot of problems, but they are a developed economy. So.
Well, no, South Korean like before like the 70s, I think it was. They were like worse than North Korea.
Oh yeah, no, it was awful.
Yeah,
it was.
So
I mean, it really only became better. It only industrialized starting really in the 80s, and I mean. That's kind of same goes for Taiwan. Was a dictatorship and then industrialized.
Stu and Howard for 2. Do you think Trump takes Nevada? I think he can, but it's one of the states where we say that every year, but then it's like, oh, it only shifts 1 point Republican.
Oh yeah, it's like this is the year that Nevada will finally vote Republican, and then they just vote Democrat again. But like,
this is the year that Texas votes Democrat.
It's like the meme of like I think it's like Nancy Pelosi, where it's like we got Trump this time, and then she gets older and older each time. It's like 50 years later. That's what it feels like. Like, oh yeah, we've been saying that for 50 years. Nevada's gonna be Republican now.
It's like it's like the fucking it's like the Brexit memes.
Which ones?
It's like Brexit taking forever to happen, and then it finally happened.
Tex Rex 98 for 2. Dems may run JBE in for Louisiana and Roy Cooper for North Carolina in 2026. Yeah, John Bell Edwards. I think he just doesn't.
I don't think they run him again. I think he's done.
Isn't
he getting old? Like I don't think he's done with politics. And Roy Cooper, I think he's not. Roy Cooper's also getting old. I think he's kind of done with politics after this.
57.
They already have. I'm pretty sure Roy Cooper's in his 70s.
Well, no, Edwards only 57, so I could maybe he runs like a House seat.
Son of Hamas founder blasts student supporters in the U.S. Quote: "Those pro-Palestine protesters need to go to a mental asylum."
Wait, what?
What?
Wait, hold up. What? Is that real?
Yeah, New York Post.
Son of Hamas founder blast. Bro.
Pull this up on the stream.
For the New York Post. No way. There's no way this is real.
What is this?
It's real. Son of Hamas founder blast student supporters in U.S. Those pro-Palestine people need to go to a mental asylum.
It's very disappointing to see Americans supporting Hamas and thinking Hamas is a cool thing while Hamas does not respect any of those followers. The Hamas defector said the bloodthirsty terrorists would, quote, torture and massacre them with no mercy. Yusuf then went on to explain how the militants referred to their American supporters as, quote, useful idiots.
Oh man, exactly for 10. I am behind, whether people like it or not. The goal is always abolitionism. Excuse me. Giving it to the states was a stepping stone. It is akin to the left's slow march to the institutions. Yeah, they just do the same thing the left did on stuff like gay marriage, and the right did the same thing with immigration. Though that was because of Trump pulling up, but yeah, I can't believe this is real. Can you just imagine though? It's like, oh yeah, by the way, the son of the people that you're supporting says he hates you. Surely. Let's see. Why do we lose with abortion ballot referendums? Because they're worded in a way that benefits pro-choice, usually. Are you okay?
So I think people just.
Yeah, I'm fine. Why?
Oh.
Oh, fuck. Is my microphone sensitivity up?
Yeah.
Hold on. Wait, give me a
Also,
second.
I think people just generally lean also on the side of freedom. So when they're given a ballot choice where it's like, do you want to restrict this or leave it not restricted? People will tend to opt for the leave it not restricted, regardless of what it is.
Real. Do you see Trump's endorsement Wisconsin's 8th? No. It's not Brewsterwitz, thank God. He got... yeah, so much for that poll, by the way, they had him up by 30. That was totally real.
It was like some random guy.
Yeah, it was, Weld, I think his name is?
Yeah, it's like he basically pulled an Addison McDowell with that one.
Yeah. And McDowell looks pretty good, so... I mean, it looks pretty good on the issues, I should say. Pale for 2, as a North Carolinian, hell no to a Roy Cooper presidency. He's not going to get nomination. He's too conservative.
Yeah, no, he's old. I don't really think he's interested. I don't think Roy Cooper's going to run for anything. I mean, Democrats, they've already got their Senate candidate for 2026. It's going to be Wiley Nickel. He's already
serious?
filed. Yeah, he filed the
Bro.
second they did the redistricting.
A bunch of clowns. Alright, if anyone got any more super chats, any more questions, concerns, comments, begin sending them now. Last calls for super chats, everyone. Hey, Rapper Crew, here are ideas for policy. Hold on, what? Here are policies. Ideas for policy are socially conservative, economic and interventionist, antitrust populism, with an isolationist policy abroad and imperialist policy in the Western Hemisphere. Maybe. You gotta be careful though when you say like interventionist on the economy.
It's also. I don't think isolation. I mean, I at least don't think that isolationism really works because, I mean, I think at a basic level, you still have to like trade with other countries and maintain some sort of diplomatic relations.
Let's see here.
And there's like allies and stuff.
What's the major issues for neoconservatism? Just foreign policy. That's all they give a shit about. That's literally it.
I mean, neoconservatism is literally just invade every country until they act like us.
And remember, they you look at they claim to be anti-communist, but look who founded neoconservatism.
Wasn't it Trotsky?
It's the Trotskyites, yeah.
Yeah, it was Trotsky.
Yeah, so it's like, yes, you're anti-communist. Yeah, then why were your founders communist? Hold up a minute. Let's see. Rap, did you watch the eclipse? No, because it was cloudy.
Yeah, same. I took a picture of it, but you can't even see the eclipse because there was like a cloud blocking.
I shouldn't say that. I was able to see part of it, but like not the whole thing. So
it was fairly cloudy where I was, but there were spots where the sun came out, and I managed to get a picture of it multiple times.
HexRex98 for 2. How can we prepare for a potential blue wave in 2026? Recruit candidates worth the damn and invest in only the 2 states, Georgia and North Carolina. Screw everything else. Don't spend a dime in Missouri or Indiana or wherever. Just defend those 2 states and be done. That's all you got to do. We need to spread my debate.
I mean, isn't it offense in Georgia because of the with the Senate seat?
Yeah, but I'm just saying like that's the easiest one. Screw freaking trying to win against Michigan. If Peters runs again, you're not winning. You know.
I mean, yeah, Peters won in 2020 against. I mean, John James was a pretty strong candidate, and Peters barely even campaigned.
Yeah. Let's see here. Rap, I missed the beginning. What did Trump say? Basically, it was leave the issue to the states on abortion, and I think it was the best answer he could have given. Anyways, folks, I think I'm gonna end the stream here. If you guys did enjoy this stream, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell. Follow the social media accounts in the description down below. And of course, join the channel today. So, any last thoughts, everyone?
No.
Just no. Not even nothing. Thank you. I'm kidding. But anyways, folks, Godspeed.
No.
No.